Start with the Swiss journalists, and Peter will translate, and then we'll go to the Irish media, but you're more than welcome to stay and ask questions again if you have any more. So yourself, please.
Okay, meine Damen und Herren, willkommen hier zum Matchday -1 mit dem Trainer Mick McCarthy und dem Spieler Seamus Coleman. Wir werden anfangen mit den Schweizer Fragen und es wird dann verdolmetscht. Und danach machen die Iren alles auf Englisch.
If I'm right, it doesn't matter if Ireland draw the game or lose the game. So what kind of an impact will that have on tomorrow's game?
It might not matter to you. It matters to me. I don't know what impact it will have on the game. We'll find out. I think that we've gone to every game and tried to win it, and we'll do exactly the same again.
Okay, wie ist die Situation? Ob ihr jetzt unentschieden spielt oder ob ihr verliert, ihr habt trotzdem eine Chance durchzukommen. Ja, dir macht es was aus, mir macht es schon was aus. Wir werden einfach in dieses Spiel reingehen und versuchen zu gewinnen, so wie wir das mit jedem Spiel machen.
Yes.
Ireland in the qualification has conceded just 2 goals. How do you explain that you are defensively so strong?
I've got good defenders. That would be a good start. And I've got good characters in the team that want to work hard for the team. I made my feelings clear the other night that we didn't play particularly well with the ball, but well, we were good without it, and that's been the case in every game. And getting somebody like Shane Duffy, who'd been injured for 10 days, 7, 8, more than that, 10 days, coming back, wanted to play, playing like he did. John Egan coming into the team, who he played against Bulgaria, but he's had to sit out because of Richard Keogh and Big Duff, who have been so good. So, yeah, a good all-round, well-organised team, but and willing to defend as a team.
Sie haben nur 2 Tore bisher eingefangen. Wie erklären Sie sich das? Ja, wir haben gute Verteidiger, wir haben allgemein gute Spieler. Wir sind sehr gut ohne den Ball, vielleicht nicht so gut, wenn wir mit dem Ball spielen. Schon Duffy zum Beispiel war 10 Spiele lang verletzt und kam jetzt zurück und will unbedingt immer wieder spielen. Dann haben wir John Egan, der gegen Bulgarien schon gespielt hat. Also wir haben eine sehr gute Innenverteidigung.
Chap in the front row.
Your last game was in Georgia. Did you lose there something or did you win there something?
We won a point.
And you were satisfied or?
Yes, I was. If they'd have asked me prior to the tournament starting that we'd have got 4 points from Georgia, I would have took that. The lads would admit they were disappointed actually the way we played with the ball. We could have been better. Had we been better, it doesn't mean to say that we would have won. Darren didn't have a save to make, our goalkeeper. We had arguably the best chances in the game. But yes, we won a point. It's put us in a good position, I think you'll say.
Gegen Georgien haben sie nicht gewonnen, aber halt unentschieden. Wie erklären Sie sich das? Naja, wenn man vor der Qualifikationsrunde mir gesagt hätte, du kriegst 4 Punkte aus Georgien, dann hätte ich das sofort liebend gerne angenommen. Wir hätten besser spielen können, klar, aber wir hatten auch die beste Chance, wo Connolly alleine durch ist und knapp verfehlt hat. Wir sind gut drauf und so sieht es auch aus für uns.
Yes.
Du kannst ruhig auf Deutsch fragen, wenn du willst.
Do you think that's going to be an advantage for Ireland? You will score late, try to...
Well, I hope that's the case. But, I'm sure it doesn't happen in every game. I watched the game the other night, and Switzerland were excellent. They were the best team. Schmeichel made 3 world-class saves to keep them in the game. And isn't it funny, you probably think that because you're talking about the Swiss team, they made a mistake. Denmark had a goalkeeper that made 3 world-class saves. And then Denmark had a player who picked a pass that is capable of picking that pass, and that's why Real Madrid have been courted in Eriksen. How he saw it is beyond me, and how he executed it is beyond me. Well, it would be, because I'm not quite as talented as him. And then the finish was great from Poulsen, who's a very, very good player. And that happens in games. But you were by far and away the best team, Switzerland.
Also die Schweiz, die kriegt immer spät ein Tor rein. Wie sehen Sie da die Lage? Ja, ich hoffe, das passiert auch wieder. Hätte ich nichts gegen einzusetzen. Ich habe mir das Spiel gegen Dänemark nochmal angeschaut und man muss sagen, dass der Schmeichel 2 Weltklasse-Paraden gemacht hat. Die hatten eine echte gute Chance, die Dänen, und die haben die voll ausgenützt. Sagenhaft, wie Eriksen den Pass haargenau auf Poulsen gespitzelt hat, und Poulsen hat dann den Ball verwandelt. Poulsen ist ein sehr, sehr guter Spieler, und Eriksen, das wissen wir ja alle selbst, wie gut er ist.
I just had a caveat to your answer as well, that being the best team before the game and being the best team during the game doesn't guarantee you the points.
Das ist auch sehr wichtig, wenn man bedenkt, das sind 2 verschiedene Situationen, wenn man die beste Mannschaft ist vor dem Spiel und wenn man die beste Mannschaft in dem Spiel ist. Und das ist sehr wichtig, muss man bedenken.
Anyone else from Swiss media like to ask a question before we move on?
Noch irgendwelche Schweizer Fragen? Noch irgendwelche Schweizer, deutschsprachige Fragen? Keine französischen, bitte.
All good? Okay, just to remind you all, there is no embargo in anything from this press conference this evening. It's all live. Tony?
Kann ich nur erwähnen, jetzt gibt es keine Verdolmetschung mehr. Das war auf die Bitte vom irischen Fußballverband.
Hi, Mick. Hopefully everyone is okay and well. There's no fitness concerns or injury worries.
No, all fit and well, thank you.
And your approach to this game, does the logic of this one change a little bit? Because although it's not quite a free shot, you have to win a game either tomorrow night or against Denmark at home.
We'll approach it trying to win it, Tony, that's what we'll do. It's far from a free shot. We'll approach it as we would have approached it before and try to win the game. Just said they were excellent against Denmark. And we'll give it our all, try to win the game.
Have you given much thought, of course you have, I'm sure, to how you set up? Are you thinking of changing the shape of the team, perhaps?
I've given a considerable amount of thought to it, and I'll let you know tomorrow.
How about Aaron Connolly? He's obviously someone who has got great potential in the game, came on and made an impact in a short space of time. Is it such a big game that you'd be prepared to risk him? Or is it a risk?
Well, that's the question, isn't it? I mean, I think it's asking me would I risk him. Some suggesting that there is. I don't think there is after he's now made his debut. He had a cameo and did well in it, and I think he'd be feeling comfortable about himself. So, no, I don't think it would be a risk at all to start him.
But didn't you suggest, I mean, if you are going to start him, would you have to maybe play someone up top or someone to support him?
Oh, someone to support him, yes. I wouldn't want him to be isolated up there, that's for sure. They play 3 at the back, and I think putting Aaron into that, if I decided to do it, putting him up on his own would be a big ask, I think, on his starting full start.
And the midfield is something that you've obviously had to consider as well. The goalkeeper and the back four have been terrific for you. In midfield, we've been giving the ball away too much. Have you wondered about how to fix that?
Well, I apologise to you, Tony, for our midfield giving the ball away too much. I'm sorry about that. I think it was a collective thing, not just the midfield, to be quite honest. I think Seamus would agree, we've been chatting about it. None of us were particularly good with the ball the other night. But I did say, we're playing against a very competent opponent, a good opponent actually. We're very aggressive from the start. No, I'm happy with my midfield players. They haven't been like that every game.
And do you think that sometimes we play better against perhaps better opposition?
Well, if you look at the way we've played against the teams, then that would be the case. Yes, of course, in Denmark and against Switzerland. I think the game against Georgia, quite clearly, everybody thinks we should go to Georgia and just win, and it adds a little bit of pressure, a bit of spice to it. It also gives Georgia that added incentive to beat us because they're pinned as underdogs. Yeah, we've played better against the better teams.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Mick.
Hello, Guy.
You're potentially 90 minutes from reaching the Euros next summer. How does that make you feel?
I think we're in a good position. That's how I feel. But just because we're 90 minutes away from it doesn't mean to say it's going to happen. You know, you can say it and make everybody feel good about it. We've got a hell of a task on tomorrow night to make sure that that would happen. Playing against, I think, the best team in the group.
You said you go out to win every game. Of course you do. But, you know, on Saturday, you admitted afterwards you didn't want to lose the point. 20 minutes to go tomorrow night, and it's 0-0 or it's 1-1. It's a different story, isn't it? Will we see the Alamo, do you think, in the last sort of 20 minutes? As it's been said, a point doesn't really mean a great deal tomorrow.
Guy, I sincerely hope with 20 minutes to go, that is the case. And if you consider the way the results went now, our point looks like a good point against Georgia, doesn't it, strangely enough? That it's put us in this position that if we win tomorrow night, and it's a big if, we'd qualify, and then we don't, we've got Denmark. As I said to you, I hope sincerely that with 20 minutes to go, it's 0-0 or 1-1, and we can have a right go at it.
Seamus, would the squad have taken this situation? 2 games to go, 1 win, and you're there?
Yeah, I think so. Look, it's a tough group. Switzerland and Denmark are 2 very, very good teams, and you know, so far, one of the Swiss journalists touched on, we've conceded, 2 goals. We've had a good defensive record, so going into the last 2 games, I think we've got to be positive, and if we can get a win, then it's been an unbelievable campaign, and I fully believe, like I do every time I go out in that green shirt, that we're capable of getting a result. And with the Irish fans here tomorrow night, no better place. But as the manager touched on, these are a world-class team, but I believe, and hopefully it can be the case.
You've gone behind in the 2 games against Denmark and Switzerland and come back. If you were to get ahead tomorrow, would you back yourselves against anyone to keep a clean sheet?
It's going to be tough against a team like this. Look, we've played at this level for long enough to know that it's hard to defend for 90 minutes against these top teams and keep a clean sheet. But if we go 1-0 up, then I back us. But it will be a very, very tough job. But as I said, tomorrow night on the pitch is where the talking will be done, and as I said, hopefully we can be happy after it.
Mick, down here, are you aware of Peter Schmeichel's comments to Jan Sommer after the Denmark-Switzerland game where he said Ireland aren't very good, and what do you make of them?
Well, I'm aware of them now.
His comments were, I've seen Ireland play and they are so bad. Switzerland can take a lot of positives from their performance in Copenhagen. They have some really talented players. If they play like that against Ireland, the win will come.
That's very kind of him.
Anything further to add?
There are so many people who have opinions on me and my team and my players. I'm not bothered, and I certainly don't respond to them.
Just on the midfield, given Glenn Whelan's, for want of a better term, advancing years, I'm just wondering if 2 games in the space of 4 days are still within his wheelhouse at the moment.
I think if you ask that question directly to him, he might punch you on the nose, to be quite honest. I'm being amazed. He's been remarkable. And I think he's a model pro. He's a really good athlete. He looks after himself. And if he plays tomorrow, there will not be a problem.
Did Matt Doherty do enough on the left on Saturday to push his way into your thinking ahead of Enda Stevens coming back from suspension?
I think you get the team sheets an hour and a half before kick-off, do you? Or maybe earlier for you guys, or I don't know. You'll find out tomorrow.
Okay. Cheers, Mick.
Pleasure.
Oh.
Hi, Mick.
Hiya.
You spoke last Friday about wanting to control the game more in Georgia, and obviously you didn't keep the ball well enough to do it. Is it a different tactic this time because the Swiss are likely to control it anyway?
They're likely to have more possession, yeah. I think they told you they're the best team in the group. I think they probably had more possession in Dublin. They're probably the best team in the group. But I just said, it doesn't guarantee that they win games. It doesn't guarantee that they beat us. What I'd like to do and what happens are sometimes two different things. But, you know, we tried, didn't work. We were disappointed with how we passed the ball. But tomorrow's another game.
Gordon?
Seamus, hi. Do you feel some of the narrative, maybe since the weekend, that it was 2 points lost rather than a point gained? Do you think that's an unfair kind of a storyline?
Well, I touched on after the game, and you know, I just want to give credit to Georgia. Since I've come into the squad, I've played them quite a lot of times now, and the improvement in their teams over the years has been immense. And look, media and whatever, I don't know what you think, but as players, they're a good side and they've got capable players, and going out there is always a tough game. We kept a clean sheet. We would have liked to have won the game. We didn't. As the manager touched on, we didn't play well enough at times in their half, but we got a point on the board. We go into the last two games wanting to win, and you know, I really believe we can do that, and if we do, then it's been a great campaign. But I think you know, a point over there, clean sheet, it's not the worst result.
Hands up for a while. Sorry, Michael. Mick, you said earlier you were happy with 4 points from 2 games against Georgia. Would you be happy with 2 points from 2 games against the Swiss, given that would knock them out of the competition in qualifying direct, almost certainly, and possibly create a...
Would I be happy with a draw tomorrow?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah. Okay. Would that affect your way you're going to set your team up and their mentality that you will ask them to bring into the match tomorrow?
No, we're not. If we set up and just try and get a draw, that's just going to be a recipe for disaster. No, not at all. We've tried to win every game. Might not look like that when you're getting pushed back by good sides, but hey, you know, we're playing against good teams. And these, having seen them against Denmark and watched them again, they're a very good side.
Mick, I just asked you, you're saying about, obviously you and the players weren't overly excited the way they used the ball on Saturday. How did you change that in the space of a few days? Obviously you have only limited time in the training ground. Is it belief in the players? Did
I
they believe more
think I
themselves?
answered that question the other night. That's not always been the case. No. Man City went to Norwich and got beat. They don't suddenly become a bad team. And that's the case with us. And I keep saying to you, the team that we were playing against were a good side. And maybe some of you might acknowledge that actually they are a good team. And we had the best chances. We didn't take one of them. I wonder in the past when Ireland have gone to Georgia, have they been dominant and overrun Georgia and mullered them 2 or 3-0, or have they just nicked it with a goal? I don't know. Maybe you can tell me.
Mick.
Sorry? I don't know. No, I don't. You tell me. No. Tell me. Oh, sorry, the one I was involved in, quite clearly I know that one, you pillock. Sorry, I thought you said the last one when we played them. Oh, my apologies. Oh, okay. So we've never mullered them, have we? No. I wondered. I just thought we went there, we should have hammered them, you know.
Mick, Mick, just
Yes.
just looking back at the last game against the Swiss, obviously you said they have the quality. You said after the game, you know, albeit jokingly to a certain extent, you may have to circle the wagons for the return game. But during that game in Dublin, there were moments where they looked culpable of making mistakes at the back, and subsequently throughout the campaign they have made mistakes, and they do appear to be under an element of pressure tomorrow. How important is it for you to have, I suppose, just legs, energy, and pace in the team tomorrow in terms of being able to exploit possibly?
That's been important all the way through the tournament so far, and that's, you know, that's probably what's got us our clean sheets, because we've been able to press teams and close them down, even on Saturday and they did break on us quite a few times when we gave the ball away. We got back behind the ball and defended really well. So that's important, yeah, of course.
Emmett.
Mick, if you said you'd be absolutely happy with a draw tomorrow. The only upside of that really is that Denmark they qualify and they come to Dublin with nothing to play for on the face of it. Is that your thinking? Is that the basis on which you'd be happy?
No, the upside of it is that a draw in Switzerland against Switzerland, who have qualified for how many tournaments over the last 20 years? Have they been in every one? Right. Thanks, Philip. You've been a real help to me today. Thanks, pal. We're here again talking about whether I'd be happy with a draw. I wonder if there's some thought process that I'm being negative, thinking a draw in Switzerland would be a good result.
Only because of the circumstances. There's very little practical benefit to it. I mean, a win puts us through, a draw...
The very first question I think I was asked, I said, we're going to try and win the game.
Sure.
And we'll try and win the game. And if we end up with a draw, I'll take it and I'll be happy with it.
Okay, so...
And that would have been before the tournament, and that will be now.
Okay, so the Swiss coach was in earlier and he said that he regards the match as a cup final. Do you see it like that?
No. No.
Okay.
David.
Mick, I'm just wondering, hello, Mick.
Yeah.
Just wondering, at this stage of a campaign, you've been here before 3 times. How does this compare? You seem kind of relaxed in terms of the build-up. I mean, how does it feel compared to the other campaigns this time round? As you head into
Since 17 years ago? Do you mean the other campaigns I was involved in?
Yeah, just in terms of all that experience that you've had and what you've learned.
That's maybe why I look calm, because I've had that experience, and everybody wants to make it a cup final, a do or die, and I don't think it is. I think it is for them. I wish I'd come into his press conference actually and listened to the questions he was answering. I think, yeah, they do have to beat us tomorrow night. I don't think that's the case with us, is it? We get a draw tomorrow night, we've still got Denmark to play. And I have to say, when I look back at the game against Switzerland, I can't think for 1 minute how anybody would imagine that we're just going to come here and go all guns blazing and we're going to take them on and we're just going to win, because they are a very, very good side. They just dominated Denmark. They're just all over them, they were.
Last couple of questions, please.
Mick, just following on from that, and relating to something you said about Georgia, I think you said because they'd already secured their playoff place, in that game they could play with more freedom, I think was the word you used. Given what you've just said about tomorrow night, the Swiss regard this as a cup final. It's not do or die for Ireland. How does that pressure dynamic potentially affect the game? Is there a chance for Ireland to play with less anxiety or more freedom, if that's the right word, as you said, of the Georgians?
And I said it wasn't that we played with anxiety, if you look back on what I said the other night, just to confirm that, because I thought that's where the question was going. I said that it gave the opposition, who don't have the anxiety, that helps them to relax. And they'd play that way anyway, Georgia. Will the fact that we've got another game to qualify, we could win by beating Denmark, help us relax? No, not at all, because we'd like to do it here. We've never done it with a game in hand. So we'll be doing our utmost to do that. And it's still a big game for us. We want to play well in this and get something from it.
Craig.
Mick, with regards to Aaron Connolly, is your dilemma to put him in from the off and go and try and win the game from the off? Or are you thinking, try and, for want of a better word, spoil it, keep it tight for an hour and then bring him on and try and win the game? Is that the sort of the dilemma you're facing with him?
I haven't got one with him.
Or she's starting anyway?
No, I just haven't got a dilemma.
Not a dilemma.
Either way, innit? I've no dilemma with him.
Yeah, well, decision then. Is that the decision?
The decision, you'll find out an hour before kick-off tomorrow.
Oh, it sounds like you're starting.
Well, good for you.
Any last question?
If you can deduce that from my tone of voice and the way I look, well, fair play to you.
Brendan, just here in the way.
I might just drop him to spite you now.
Mick. Mick.
Not at all, Craig. I don't mean that one little bit. No.
Mick, you talked about the bit of disappointment among the players after the Georgia game, and the fact that you felt a bit of negativity outside the camp. As a manager, getting into this match, that's good material for you getting ahead of this match with that bit of negativity, players wanting to do better. You're in a good position there, a good headspace.
I genuinely don't read it. I keep getting messages from people saying F the begrudges, and I keep thinking, what's going on? Seriously, I think, what's going on? So I asked the question, and they just, I haven't sensed that at all, to be quite honest. It's just a few text messages I've got. And I thought, and I didn't want to text them back and say, why, what's going on? I just don't get the feel that the fact that we are within a win of qualifying, I don't get the sense that there's some sort of anticipation about that or excitement, or there should be. So, I've just been asked, is it a cup final? No, but I'm excited about it. I'm excited about the prospect that if we do win it. So, if there is negativity going around, then it's my mates. Must be, 5 or 6 text messages I have that are reading it or hearing it, because it's not me. So it's not that. But I don't get a sense in here from you guys that we might win at all, and that you might be celebrating the fact, and you might be having the Euros to write about in 2020. I'm not getting that feeling. So it's not a negative vibe I'm getting, but it's not that one of positivity at all, or that we might do it or we can do it, which is a different feeling altogether.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.